Hey, everybody. Irina Kutsenko, me, and Stars About Stars. We are greeting you, the first astrology-based matchmaking podcast for love and career seekers. And today we have a very wonderful guest. She's a stunning woman with such a high level of success that shows us that success doesn't prevent women from being wonderful, kind, sexy, and open for love. In our studio, Tiffany Cahill.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh my God, my pleasure.
It's been great so far.
Thank you so much. You have a brilliant name. Tell me, who named you that way?
So my parents actually heard it on the radio and they had never heard the name Tiffany before. And they decided, you know what? If it's a girl, it's going to be Tiffany. So I've had it ever since.
And you see, after breakfast with Tiffany, all world,
yes, I know,
feminine part of the world is dreaming about Tiffany.
Exactly.
So I can see in front of me very successful but very feminine woman.
Yes.
Who is looking for love. Tell me please about your professional career first, and after we will dig and find out what's going on with your zodiac.
Okay, great. I'm currently the vice president of HR for a hospitality company. You know, very busy, have a lot of responsibility under my plate. So, you know, with traveling and working multiple hours, sometimes it's hard to get out there and explore my love life.
Yep.
So yeah, that's kind of about me.
Great. So now we are having 12 zodiac questions that are based on your individual horoscope. And we will talk about your personality, your real need in love, and what you're looking for, and who's your ideal man.
Okay.
Let's figure it out. First question, life path number is 6. These people will have to make choices very often in life. What was the hardest to make?
My choice, the hardest choice I've made, I think, is when I decided I wanted to get divorced from my husband. It was...
How many years you've been together?
We were together approximately 4.5 years, but we were only married for 1 year.
Yep.
And I knew it wasn't right going into it, and I didn't trust my heart. And then at the end, you know, it was my responsibility to deliver that message to him, which was very difficult, especially, you know, since we just started a life together, built a house. And, you know, I just decided at that point, it wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't my life path.
I understood. And do you believe in Institute of Marriage at all?
I do. It's definitely something that I've grown up with.
Yep.
You know, my family, you know, very strong bonds. My parents have been married for over 40 years. But again, it doesn't drive me, right? You know, I want to find love. And if that comes after, then that's great.
What would be the biggest value in relationships for you?
The value?
Yep.
Trust. You know, I really need to trust someone. And it's very hard for me because I've had experiences in the past where, you know, I thought I could trust someone and then it turned out that they were someone totally different.
Thank you so much. Your birthday number is 1. These people are independent and capable of deep love. They're forgiving, respectable, accurate, and honest. There is anything you can't forgive in your life?
I think, you know, I give people a lot of chances. And then when it comes to a point I'm done, I don't go back.
Yeah. We just spoke about that with the other guests. Thank you so much. That's probably the best decision, you know. When you're done, you're done.
Exactly.
You were born at the day of laughter. Happy birthday, by the way. What would make you smile? What man should do to make you smile?
You know what? And I'm such a hard shell. I feel like I know I am. But, you know, a little surprise here and there, I love. Like, I think that, you know, I always kind of go in the negative where, oh, it's never going to happen, or, you know, they don't care about me. But just like small gestures really makes a difference for me.
So let's say if your man is organizing for you a party for 20 people, has, hi, Tiffany, happy birthday. You're going to be fine with that. And you're just in sportive outfit. You weren't waiting for that and you're okay.
100%.
Okay, that's cool. So you like surprises. That's
I
nice.
do.
Was it surprise for you about that move from the other state to Florida, or it was fast decision?
It was a fast decision. And once again, I had my mind made up. I decided I'm going. My family was not supportive in the beginning, especially my mom, because we're so close. And, she said, is this the right move for you? You live in Boston, you're young. What are you going to do in Florida? And I said, I'm going. I trusted my gut. I went into work that day and I said, if there's a transfer, I'm applying for it. Applied for it. And the rest is history.
Here we are.
Yeah.
You just picked up my next question about intuition. You have a narrow vision that helps you to see so far about yourself and the other people. About ourselves, we are usually doubt. So you're intuition follower, no matter what, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Great. What about your religious issues? Are you a religious person? Do you want a religious hero of your life?
So, I grew up Catholic. I went to Catholic high school, but I'm a very spiritual person. I believe in a higher being, but, I don't go to church every weekend but, I definitely have my own moments where, I pray to a higher God, right?
Absolutely.
So, but it's not, I want someone who appreciates that. It doesn't necessarily have to be that they're going to church every day or every weekend or, but I wouldn't be opposed to it either.
There are ideas that astrology goes against religion, that I, as a person who studied for astrology, that is a science, know that it doesn't. All types of religions are based on moon cycles because it's part of nature. So it corresponds, but it doesn't go against. And my question is, being a God follower, being intuition follower and God believer, do you believe in astrology?
Yes.
You do. I do believe too a lot. And actually your ascendant in Gemini, ascendant is how society sees you as a very communicated, very given, very fun and entertaining person. Tell me, when you talk to your man, there is any topic or anything that you're allergic for? That's no, I can take it. Come on.
No, I'm a pretty open person. I can be very assertive, but most of the time I'm pretty laid back. And again, I'm very open and I enjoy conversation and I enjoy listening to people's opinions and, experiences. So there's nothing I would say not that that's come up in my life so far that I'd be like, oh, no way.
Yeah, my boyfriend, he's Gemini, and people who have these aspects of Gemini, not only zodiac, but other aspects, they're so much open. They have no limits. They can talk about everything. They're okay with everybody. I love it. Absolutely love it. And tell me, do you have any zodiac that you don't even want to hear about? So let's say I tell you, Tiffany, listen, I have some line for you. Oh, no. Anyone but line, okay?
So, it's very weird. I've actually been not in love with, but have had like these passionate, relationships that never really went anywhere with like a Taurus. And then Capricorn is who I married. And I was with a Scorpio for 5 years. That was my previous relationship or most recent relationship, was a Scorpio. So I've kind of been all over the board, but I have like the most passionate relationships with Taurus. It's weird. I don't know what it is.
Wow, not Scorpio, but Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's interesting. You know that zodiac, it's not always correspond to planet of love that is Venus. So it could be Taurus with Venus in Scorpio. It could be Scorpio with Venus in Taurus. Anything is possible. So your karma task is in Leo, by the way.
Oh.
It's all about creativity, recognition. You told us about your professional activity. There is any dream profession you want to accomplish?
One day I would love to have my own business. And I've always thought about that. And, just from my experiences, and I feel like I'm good at coming in and kind of analyzing situations and businesses and helping them recreate the wheel. So definitely down the line, I would love to do something.
Still in hospitality?
Probably in hospitality. That's my niche. For a year and a half, I decided to leave hospitality. And I was like, no, I have to go back.
Wow.
It's where I belong.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
You're so good with people. People love you.
Thank you.
Sun conjunction Venus. This aspect highlights feminine characteristics from where we started. They have a good taste for fashionable clothes. We can see it.
Thanks.
What is your favorite style element?
I vary. I love dressing up. I love professional dress. I like getting ready and doing my hair. But on the weekends, I like to just be casual, wear my Lululemon, no makeup, go to the beach, not wash my hair.
That's cool
So
too.
yeah, I can go both ways. I mean, obviously I like dressing up and getting ready, especially for work. I feel like people who show up to work looking professional, feeling good about themselves are going to emulate that through their whole day. And I feel like, I've seen that in my career with certain people that I've hired where, they come to an interview looking, great. And then they show up and they're wearing sneakers and they're not caring about their appearance. And it really does change your day and how you react and how you do conduct your business.
My boyfriend always says my favorite gift is perfume. I say, I got you. No worries. I got you. But I want to know, what is your favorite gift? When man wants to surprise you, do you collect, I don't know, maybe you want jackets or you love, I don't know, scarves or bags? What is your best element in style?
I mean, I love bags.
That's
but
good to know.
I do love experiences as well. I think experiences, if someone could just show up and be like, hey, we're doing this today, let's go. Like, I think that's priceless, because you have those memories forever and you connect.
Thank you. Sun conjunction Jupiter, these people often willing to make great sacrifice. Does it relate?
Yes.
Could you give any example of your life, or it's personal and private?
Yeah, of course. In my last relationship, I sacrificed a lot. My boyfriend at the time was coming out of changing careers. He was on the PGA Tour as a caddy for over 10 years, and then decided, it didn't work out, and he moved to Florida. And I kind of always gave him more and more chances, and I worked very, very hard. And I think that he saw that, but I don't know if he ever really appreciated it because I paid for everything. There was times where it was during COVID, and we were all on pay cuts, and he never did anything to help me, and I sacrificed a lot for him. And eventually I was just done. And I think, it really showed me that, my future relationships, I want a partnership. I don't want to be the one, again, there's going to be times where someone has to step up. You don't want to
save no one.
No, I'm done saving.
And have you ever been fighting for an addict person?
I think him, yes, for sure.
Yep.
He definitely had his vices, and I allowed it to happen because, he's depressed, or, he'll come over it, or he'll be better. And it just never got better.
You give chances. Mm-hmm. You still believe, but you can't save no one until person doesn't want to be saved.
Yes.
Sun opposition Saturn. This aspect creates two groups of people. People in the first group tend to avoid challenging situations. When people in the second group encounter problems, they get stimulated by them and perform better. Where do you belong to?
The problem sector. I love problems. I'm in HR, that's what we do. We solve problems.
That's great. Moon square Uranus. This aspect brings to life radical changes. What is your resolution 2023?
It is to trust my instinct more, especially in the love sector. I think my career, I'm so good at it, and I know it doesn't, flow to your love life, but I've made a personal, promise to myself that I will take care of myself, put myself first. And when I see red flags or I see something I don't like, I don't need to stay. I don't need to save anyone anymore. Absolutely. I've already done that.
Yeah. So. Thank you so much. And, you were presented to me, not through this show directly, but through a very important person for me. The way we are connected in the sky. In real life, we are connected from my boyfriend, but in the sky, we are connected because we have the same date of birth. And I believe he'll always bring in the best people, So, Tiffany, you definitely this year will find love. That's what we wish you.
Thank you.
And tell me, you mentioned your experience with partners, with husband. Have you ever had kids?
I have not.
That could be a part of challenge and dream this year.
I mean, I just turned 42. Yep. So it's something I'm open to. I've always done. I love kids.
You. Absolutely.
So, it came to a point where you're like, if my partner had kids, that would be great.
Yep.
If I could have a child, that would be wonderful as well.
Absolutely, I agree with you. 36. Talking as a woman to woman. Mercury square Neptune. Eccentric artists and spiritual explorers sometimes have these aspects in this horoscope. In their horoscope, these people change their opinions, sometimes very unexpectedly. Did it happen to you? I want fish. No, I'm gonna go for meat. I don't know. I traveled to Hawaii. No, I decided I go to Bali.
I mean, I do and I don't. I guess yes and no. I mean, it definitely depends on what we're talking about, right? In my career, I'm pretty solid. I know what I want. I guess in my personal life, I could change quickly.
It's funny. I spoke to one of my friends and he said, the sexiest feature for me in women is when a woman knows what she wants. I said, wow, we do nails, we take care of our hair, and you tell me it's all about this thing. Okay. So next question, Venus conjunction Mars. This conjunction brings a lot of sensitivity, and these people can often get easily offended. What is your sensitive zone?
I can be very sensitive when I'm feeling that, someone's either taking advantage of me or, not being truthful and, kind of playing me, in a certain way. And that's when I become very sensitive, especially if I really like someone. And I feel like they're not being upfront and honest.
Thank you so much. Your Venus, planet of love, is opposition with Jupiter. People with this aspect are emotionally demanding. What is your main expectation from a man?
Again, trust, being there, your word. If you say something, of course, things are going to change, or something comes up, but just being able to be open. And I think that's so important for me because I've had, relationships, not even, here and there, or I guess flings. And, that's some of the times, I find out that the person is totally different than they presented to me. So for me, it's open communication and being the person they say they are.
Thank you. Your Venus in a position with Saturn, people with this aspect are very responsible, reserved, and hesitant. They also have restraints when they are often the result of challenging parenting. Tell me, do you believe that we all come from childhood? And what was your experience in childhood at all? What was your biggest value, your biggest memory about your parents?
So like I said, my parents have been married for a long, long time.
You had a good example?
I did. I mean, they have their issues like anyone
as everybody
else. But at the end of the day, they work as a partnership and they're there for each other. One of the things that I always had issues with, I guess, growing up, my mom is very assertive, very tough, very loving. But she
tough love.
Yeah, she runs the ship. So, one of the things I think that's come into my relationship, especially in my younger years, was her influence over, what she thought a relationship should look like. My parents do everything together, of course they have their separate.
Mine too, I understand.
Yeah. And so, if I wasn't that way or they weren't responding that way, she would always have something to say. So I think I've learned to put that aside as well and, understand it's my own path and I have to listen to what makes me happy, not someone else.
Absolutely. And your planet of activity, Mars, in a position with Saturn, planet of restrictions. This aspect brings one personality trait that is not very constructive. These people are often unable to finish sometimes things what they have started. Did it happen to you?
Yes. I mean,
I did that too. Birth chart reading, it's not always about pleasant things,
Exactly. No, definitely. I mean, I've started things where I'm going to be a spin instructor. I go and get my certification and I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore.
That's very feminine too. You know, men, they have to reach the point. Women, we are okay to change our minds.
Okay, I'll do something else.
Yes. And your planet of prosperity, Jupiter, goes together with Saturn, planet of restriction. You see, this actually gives you unlimited prosperity and from the other side, restrictions. Tell me, what was your biggest dream and your biggest restriction that you created for yourself?
So when I was growing up, I wanted to be Oprah Winfrey.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have common dreams.
So I went to broadcasting school when I moved
Maybe
to
you
Florida.
need to do that.
I know. Maybe.
You're such a great speaker.
Thank you. So I went to broadcasting school when I moved to Florida, and said, that's what I want to do. I don't want to do hospitality anymore. I want to be on TV. And I loved it. I loved broadcasting school. It was fun. I, got to make videos. I learned about radio. So after that, I worked at Channel 25 as, kind of in the background. And I kind of saw, what went on. And, it wasn't as glamorous as, Oprah Winfrey, of course. But
you can say that about yourself. You're gorgeous.
Thank you. But, it was a great experience. And then I decided, I have to let something go. I was working 2 jobs. I was working, during the day in hospitality, at night at the studio. So I chose hospitality, and it wasn't for the right reason. It was I thought I could, make more money and my career would be, more expansive. Broadcasting was tough. You had to prove yourself. You had to get out there. You had to network. You had to, crawl through.
And you don't have to think what other people think.
Correct.
Appreciate.
Correct.
Take it as a record to know where you move, but don't pay attention too much.
Exactly. So that being said, I think that's one of the, in my life, if I had to do it again, I think I would pursue that definitely with more enthusiasm and kind of think about my future more than right now.
I think we just recently came out with some kind of plan to meet love, to create good family, fantastic relationship, and to start new podcast. This beauty should be seen. And now is the right moment to ask you where we can see that beauty. What are your social links?
So I am on Instagram.
Perfect.
T Cahill 389. Facebook, Tiffany Cahill. And obviously I have a LinkedIn as well.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank
Tiffany.
you. So
you have
great
wonderful
meeting
name, wonderful heart, beautiful appearance. I don't know. Everything is great about you. And I think there is always man for you. Like we never should be changed. We always have to be ourselves, and it would be appreciated and loved the way you are. Thank you so much for this honest and great conversation. And we have great news today. We just reached Stars About Stars, just reached 1,000 followers. So if you want to be 1,000 first, second, third, and join us, please follow us in YouTube, Stars About Stars. Subscribe and listen to us in Apple Podcasts and Spotify, Stars About Stars. Visit my website, www.starsaboutsstars.com, and see my services. If you want one of those, please put promo code SPRING23 to get your 10 or 15% discount even. And please join me in all our social media, always with the same name, Stars About Stars, in Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Thank you so much. I wish you love. Irina Kutsen.